This is a continuation of Alcuin of York's poem De Gallo, the Rooster. We've looked at most of the story. We've met a rooster who was very proud. He went off by himself and ended up getting snatched by a fox, or a wolf rather, but he used some trickery to get the wolf to let him go. And we got this far. So he lied to the wolf and told the wolf that he had heard by a rumor that the wolf had this amazing voice, that the wolf's great voice could make this high or deep sound, perhaps, with famous harmonious symphonies. So flowery praise of the wolf's beautiful voice. The wolf opened his throat, opened his jaws wide, and of course the rooster flew away. Flew up onto the branch of a tree and then sat there. Now the rooster is going to turn around and talk to the wolf, kind of not, kind of rub his nose in it, kind of make fun of him a little bit, and then we'll get the moral of the story. Okay, so mox igitur subita jam libertate potitus, excelsus quesedanes his cantus vocibus edit. De cipitur merito frustra qui cumque superbit, et capitur falsis cariturus laudibus escis, antecibos voces dum spargere temptat inanes. Respicit haec illos, qui cum sint fabula nocti, iure salutis opus prevantur fraudibus atris, attendendo cavis falsas rumoribus auras. Okay, so soon, mox, therefore. And potitus is the passive, the fourth principal part, the passive participle formed from the deponent verb potior, which means to take possession of. So, the rooster implied having taken possession of, and it patterns with the ablative case, subita libertate. So libertate modified by subita. Subita means sudden or unexpected. So the rooster, having taken possession already, yam, of his unexpected freedom, and que, sedanes, sitting, excelsus, up high, he published, or publishes, I'm not sure of the tense, probably perfect, because I think the E has to be long. He published songs, so in other words, he started to sing with these voices or in these words. So these is pointing forward to what the rooster's going to say. That's the next few lines or so. Okay, so we hear de cipitur merito, qui cumque. So qui cumque is a kind of indefinite, I believe, probably a relative pronoun here. Qui cumque superbit, whoever is proud, whoever takes pride, vainly or in vain, that person will be deceived rightly. So in other words, if you are proud, if you superbit in vain, then you deserve merito to be deceived. So he's telling this, the rooster's telling this to the fox. You deserved what you got because you were too proud of yourself, and it was stupid because you don't have a great voice. And we have an et. He is captured when he is about to be deprived of his askis, his food, by false praises. So we have de cipitur and capitur. These are both passive verbs, third person singular passives. These are the things that are going to happen to these individuals. The individual who's too proud, the individual who is cariturus, that is a future active participle, about to be deprived of his askis, his food. It patterns the verb careo, patterns with the ablative case. So the individual who is about to be cariturus, about to be deprived of his food, he is captured by false or fake praises. So he's kind of turning around and making fun of the wolf here for his foolishness. So when, as a conjunction, when he tries, temptat, to spargere, to scatter, empty words, before food. So I'm taking voces as feminine, plural, and accusative, the direct object of the infinitive spargere. I don't know if that's correct. And I'm taking ante as a preposition with kibos. I'm not sure if that's correct either. But he seems to be saying that this foolish person tries to talk before eating food. Something along these lines. Again, if you find an English translation and can correct my understanding, I'd be grateful. So again, this individual who is too proud, he deserves to be deceived or tricked, and he deserves to be captured by false praises, his praises by false praises when he is about to lose his food. He's about to be deprived of his food. And this is because or while he tries to scatter empty words or distribute empty words, empty voices before his food or before eating. Okay, so that's the end of the rooster's speech. And then it looks like the last 3 lines are kind of a little moral of the story, furnished by Alcuin, commenting on this. So, respicit haec illos. Haec, I'm taking as feminine, singular, and nominative modifying story. Very typical of poets to kind of mix up the word order and kind of have things that modify, have adjectives that modify the nouns, be kind of far away from those nouns. And you kind of have to listen for what's modifying what as you listen to the poem. So this story, respicit, literally looks back on, but I think here it means relates to. This story relates to those persons, masculine, plural, and accusative illos, who, when they have obtained sint nocti, that is the perfect tense of a deponent verb, when they have attained the opus solutus by right. Opus I'm taking as neuter, singular, and accusative, the direct object of nocti sint. So when these people have obtained an opus means work, but it can also mean something like the results of your work or the fruit of your work. And then solutus here is a little bit hard to interpret. It can mean salvation in Christian theology, or it might just mean health or well-being, and it is most likely feminine, singular, and genitive. So this expression seems to go together. When they have obtained an opus solutus, something like the rewards of their labor, iure, justly. So the wolf got the chicken, he got the rooster by working for it. He saw this rooster out in the road, rooster wasn't paying attention, the wolf grabbed him. He got the rewards of his hunting, which was to get a rooster for his dinner. So that was iure, by right. He got his rooster iure. He got his the reward of his hunting, the goal of his effort justly. But this is people who get the reward of their labor justly. They are deprived or robbed by fraudibus atris, by deceitful tricks. So this story relates to people who get the rewards of their labor, but then have the fruit of their labor, have their work stolen from them by deceitful trickery. By attending, so this is a gerund, it is a verbal noun, by attending or by paying attention to, it's in the ablative case and seems to be perhaps an ablative of cause, because they are attending to false breaths, falsis auras, by means of cavis rumoribus, empty rumors. So this is a nice example of that poetic interlocking word order where the adjectives are sort of separated from the nouns they modify in a nice A-B pattern. So auras here, I'm not sure how to interpret. It can mean breeze or breath. It might just mean something like empty talk. So by paying attention, or because they pay attention to empty, false empty talk by means of empty rumors, these people, these illos, who have gotten the just rewards of their labor, they are deprived of it. They are robbed of that by trickery. And so this fabula, haec fabula, this story, relates to those people. So please from my rather fractured and not very professional effort to kind of explain the story, sketch or outline what happens in the story, a very, very rough summary, and then zero in on maybe 4 or 5 lines of the story that are interesting to you, that you would be able to not memorize, but be able to speak with confidence in the correct poetic meter and with vocal expression, and then to be able to translate or to explain those 4 or 5 lines in greater detail when you give your presentation.